everybody, this is Christian Thomas and Glitch Fan 2012, and I am finally back with another Diapet review. So in today's review, I am going to be reviewing the Diapet James. Now you might be wondering, why does my voice sound like this? Well, I thought it'd be interesting if I would just talk with my microphone and then recorded my video silent for about a few seconds. Just thought I want to do something new for this channel. So again, in today's review, I will be reviewing the Diapet James. I actually purchased this James over on eBay back in 2025. I actually paid this item for $50. I was supposed to get this for $34 or $40, but someone already took it, so my other listings that they have is the one for $50. But just not to make it look suspicious, I actually sneak off to Walgreens to buy a $40 eBay gift card with cash. And then I pay the rest for $10 plus tax. And this listing also provides a free shipping as well. It took almost 2 weeks to get here until it finally arrives in early January. I was so hyped when they arrived in the mail, and I was so excited to complete my Diapet collection. So without further ado, let's get started on today's Diapet review. As you can see here, when we take a first look at James's packaging, you will see that we can see the entire listing of James himself, and we can see his name tag in the middle, and we can see that it says DK9003, and this Diapet item is a character collection. On top of the packaging, you will see a top view of James's model on the blister. On the left side of the packaging, you will see a whole blister of James's face. On the right side, you will see a prototype image of what the Diapet James is gonna look like. And here's the back of the packaging of how the Diapet James work. One image showed that you can actually couple James from the back, including the front. The second one is that James have bogies on his wheels. The other image shows that you can actually uncouple James's tender. And the last image shows when you move James's wheels, you can see that the cylinders actually move when moving James's wheels, just like Thomas's. And the other image showing other characters available for you to collect. Finally, on the bottom you will see an image render of James and licensing tag on the right side. Alright, now that I covered James's packaging, now let's get him out of the box. And here we have the Diapet James out of the packaging. Now that he's out of the box, first thing we're going to take a look at is his body. The first thing we're going to take a look at is the left side of the body. As you can see right here, the Diapet James' body looks great. Everything in here looks so well detailed. For example, his wheels and his side rods, his splashers, his gold dome, his whistles, heck, everything. The next one is the front, where we can take a look at his face. As you can see here, his face looks fantastic. It looks more accurate to the ones from the CGI series. And on the bottom we can see his buffers, his coupling, and a lamp iron. But unfortunately, his lamp was never added to this item, unlike Thomas and Percy's. And as you can see on top, you can see some printed windows, which has a very nice touch. Over here on the left side, it's basically just the same. And on the back you can see James's cab is blocking the wall, which means you won't be able to fit James's driver in there. Which sounds very ridiculous to say, if you know what I mean. And on the bottom we can see his back coupling for his tender. And on top we can see his funnel, his dome, his boiler, his whistle, his top cab, and even his top white running board. Which I'm glad they painted the white running board along with the other engines, just so it can be more accurate to the ones from the TV series. Finally, on the bottom part we can see his bogies and his cylinder on his chassis. This is where if you move the wheels, the cylinder will be able to move just like Thomas's. And you can also be able to move his bogies from side to side, even though Diapet never made the tracks for the engines. Also, I heard people were saying that this Diapet James that they made him look too tall. And I unfortunately have to agree with that because, you know, in other James's merchandise, they made him look too big, too long, or even too tall. Which causes fans that they cannot be able to find a perfect James just so they can add him to their collection. But even though this James made him too tall, I still think this is a great James model. Alright, now that we've finished reviewing the body, now we can take a look at his tender, shall we? Alrighty, now we can take a look at James's tender. The first thing we're going to take a look at is his side. As you can see right here, James still have his number 5, he has coal on top, and he has 6 wheels on the bottom. And on the front we can see James's cab and his front coupling for him to connect to his body. On the other side of the tender, it's just basically the same. On the back we can see James's buffers and his back coupling for you to connect other engines and rolling stock. But one thing I find it odd is that on the back of James's tender, he doesn't came with the molded tail lamp. Thomas, Percy, and Hero do, but not James. He also doesn't have a black striping on the back either, but I'm actually fine with it. On the top of the tender, we can see a 3D molded coal on his tender. The coal is not actually removable. It's either screwed in or they probably glued it in. Finally, on the bottom part, we can see the inside part of James' chassis on his tender. And this is where these two black screws screwed it in for the entire tender, and this is where you'll be able to remove the coal. If you do not know how to take it apart or even put it back together, then I recommend checking out this video made by Thomas Take and Play Extras. This video shows you how you can take any Diapet engines back together. The video for that channel will be linked in the description below. Overall, what do I think about James' tender? Well, in my opinion, this James' tender looks pretty good. But my only problem with this James' tender is that he looks a bit squash. If you check the comparison between the Diapet James and the actual James, you'll see what I mean. But overall, I think this Diapet James' tender still looks pretty good. Alrighty, now that we're done reviewing the body and the tender, now we can put them both back together. So before I ended the video, what do I think about this Diapet James? Well, I think this Diapet James model looks great. Even though his model looks tall and his tender looks squashed, I think this is a great James model. And if I have to rate this Diapet model, I would rate this a 9 out of 10. This item is very proportionate and I totally recommend getting this. But you might want to get it now because I heard this year a bunch of Diapet Percies has been out of stock in every online store, especially eBay. Thomas also have the same problem as well, but that happened back in 2024. And now both of these items became very rare nowadays. The only characters they have left available are Hero, Gordon, James, Annie and Clarabelle, and Birdie. So for those who are planning to get the Diapet engines, especially James, then I suggest you get one right now before they stop making them. Even though these Diapet engines were already discontinued back in 2019. So once again guys, that is my review of the Diapet James. Sorry for this video take so long because I was busy focusing on other projects, taking care of my dad, spending time with my friends, and even keep searching for a part-time job. But anyways you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, and it'll let you know when the next video will be coming out very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Christian and Thomas and Glitch Fan 2012, signing out. Have a great day everyone, bye!